I died, choking on my own blood, the twisted wreckage of my Mercedes pinning me to the dashboard like a bad joke from hell. The last thing I saw was my uncle's face on the phone screen. His voice tinny and triumphant. "You should have stayed in your lane." Rose. And then, nothing, until I gasped awake in my old Midtown apartment. 5 years earlier. The date on my phone screaming June 12th, 2020. Like a slap from the universe. My heart hammered as I bolted upright. Sheets tangled around me. The familiar scent of stale coffee and ambition hitting me like a freight train. I'd been 28 then. Fresh off sealing the deal that made Hawthorne Dynamics the king of AI logistics software.
But now?
Now I was back. Flesh and fury intact, with every scar from that betrayal etched into my soul.
I didn't cry.
I didn't scream. I just laughed, a sharp, bitter bark that echoed off the walls, because this was my shot. Uncle Victor had chosen his golden boy nephew, my cousin Liam, over me. Blood over merit. Legacy over loyalty. And for that, I'd bury him in the fine print he wrote himself. The first thing I did was pour a whiskey neat, top shelf. Because why not celebrate resurrection with a burn? My hands shook as I scrolled through my contacts, pausing on Victor's name. The man who'd raised me after Mom's overdose when I was 12, who'd molded me into his perfect protege at Hawthorne, only to knife me in the back when Dad's shares came up for grabs. Family first. Rosie, he'd always said, his voice like warm bourbon. Lies. All of it. I remembered the board meeting like it was yesterday. Hell, it was yesterday in my head. Victor, silver-haired and silver-tongued, announcing Liam as the heir apparent. He's got the vision, he'd boomed. While I sat there, the one who'd coded our flagship algorithm from scratch, who'd pulled all-nighters to land the Amazon contract. Liam, a trust fund slacker with a Harvard MBA and a coke habit, he hid behind those boyish grins. The betrayal stung deeper because I'd covered for him once. 5 years from now, no. Then, I discovered Victor's dirty secret. The offshore account siphoning company funds to bail out his failing real estate side hustle. Embezzlement. Plain and simple. I'd buried it, thinking it was a family hiccup. We protect our own, I'd told myself, forging the audit trail to make it vanish. And how did he repay me? By rigging my brakes that rainy night on the FDR Drive. Cops called it an accident. I knew better.
But now,
with a do-over stamped on my calendar, protection was off the table. Revenge? That was the main course. I dressed for war that morning, tailored black pantsuit, Louboutins that clicked like gunfire on the marble lobby floor. Hawthorne's HQ loomed in the financial district, a glass monolith reflecting the chaos of post-pandemic New York, empty streets, masked ghosts hustling for survival. Inside, the lobby buzzed with a hum of innovation, coders in hoodies tapping away, execs nursing oat milk lattes. I badged in, heart racing, because this time, I wouldn't play nice. Elevator to the 47th floor.
Ding.
Victor's corner office waited like a trapdoor. He was there, feet up on his desk, scrolling Bloomberg on his iPad. 58. Still looking like a GQ ad for ruthless ambition, crisp Oxford shirt, cufflinks that screamed old money. Rosie, he beamed, standing to hug me. I stiffened, the ghost of his betrayal making my skin crawl. What brings you in early? That pitch deck for the FedEx expansion. I forced a smile. The one I'd practiced in the mirror, warm, but with an edge. Something like that. Uncle Vic. Mind if we chat? He gestured to the leather chairs, pouring us both coffees from the Keurig. Black. No sugar, same as always.
Shoot.
You know I'm all ears for my star niece. Star niece. The words twisted like a knife. I sipped, letting the bitterness ground me. It's about Dad's will. The shares. His eyes flickered, just a microsecond, but I caught it. In my first life, I'd missed those tells. Not this time. What about M? You know the codicil. Equal split between you and Liam when I stepped down. Liam. I said the name like it tasted sour. He's barely out of diapers.
Vic.
And that vision of his? It's vaporware. Victor chuckled, leaning back. Hey.
Now.
Kid's got potential. Reminds me of you at his age. Hungry. Scrappy. Hungry for Daddy's approval. More like. But I played along, steering us to the heart of it. Potential's great, but Hawthorne needs stability. Not some Nepo baby crashing the server farm. The air thickened. Victor's smile didn't reach his eyes. Careful. Rosie. That's family you're talking about.
Family.
The word hung there, loaded. I set my mug down.
Leaning in.
Exactly. Family sticks together. Which is why I dug into the bylaws last night. Clause 8. Fascinating read.
His jaw tightened.
Clause 8. The nuclear option in Hawthorne's founding charter. Buried under layers of legalese. It allowed any blood heir to challenge succession if they could prove material malfeasance by the sitting CEO, embezzlement, fraud. You name it. Victor had drafted it himself. Back when Grandpa Hawthorne was alive. As a check against his own father's wild bets. Irony at its finest. You've been reading too many thrillers, he said lightly. But his fingers drummed the desk a tell. Clause 8's a relic. Never invoked. Until now. I slid a folder across the table. Printouts I'd mocked up on my laptop right over. Timestamps fudged to look fresh. In reality, they were ghosts from my future knowledge, bank statements, wire transfers to Cayman shells. These hit my desk yesterday. Offshore funnels. Looks like someone's been treating Hawthorne like a personal ATM. Victor's face drained of color, but he recovered fast, snatching the folder. Fabrications. Someone's gunning for me. Maybe that VC shark from last quarter. Maybe. I shrugged, casual as a summer storm. But the board won't think so. Not when I present at the next meeting. He slammed the folder down, voice dropping to a growl. You destroy this family over a hunch?
For what? Your ego.
Ego. The accusation burned, but I met his gaze, unflinching. You destroyed it first.
Beak.
Picking Liam? That's not family. That's fear. Fear I'll outshine you. The silence stretched. Electric. He stood, towering over me, but I didn't flinch. In my first life, I had backed down, swallowed the pill, drove home in the rain to my doom. This time, I rose 2 inches from his face. Think about this. Rosie, he hissed. You invoke Clause 8. You drag us all through the mud. Liam's future. The company. Everything your father built. My father, I shot back. Voice steel. Built this on merit, not bloodlines. And if you want to play dirty, remember, I know where the bodies are buried. His eyes narrowed. Did he suspect? No. Impossible. The embezzlement was my secret. One I'd take to the grave. Or so I'd thought. Get out, he said finally. Voice ice. And don't come back until you've cooled off. I turned on my heel, Louboutins echoing like victory shots. In the elevator, I exhaled, adrenaline crashing. Step 1, rattle the cage. Step 2, gather the wolves. Back in my apartment that night, I cracked open my laptop, the city lights bleeding through the blinds like accusatory fingers. New York never slept,
And neither would I.
First order, allies. In my old timeline, I'd burned bridges with half the exec team, too loyal to Victor to see the rot. This time, I'd court them like lovers. Email to Sarah Klein, our CFO, a no-nonsense Jersey girl with a nose for numbers. Coffee tomorrow? Got something that'll make your spreadsheet sing. She'd been the one to flag the anomalies back then, only to get shut down by Victor.
Now.
She'd be my canary. Then,
Javier Ruiz.
head of engineering. The guy who'd mentored me through my first code sprint. Heard you're hiring for that quantum module. Got a wild idea. Let's brainstorm. He'd hate Liam's half-baked pitches. I'd make sure he knew. And Liam himself? I texted him. 'Cause drinks at the Dead Rabbit? Miss our chats. Play the long game. Make him think I was on his side. In truth, he was collateral, innocent enough, but complicit in his silence. Or was he? A nagging doubt from my deathbed memory, Liam's hesitant voice on that call.
Vic.
This is crazy.
Had he known?
I pushed it down. No room for sentiment. By midnight, my war room was mapped, a spreadsheet of leverage points. From board votes to SEC filings. Clause 8 required proof. A vote. And Victor's ouster. But invoking it? That was the controversy, the nuclear button that could tank stock prices, invite lawsuits, shatter the Hawthorne name. Wall Street would feast on the scandal. Tech dynasty implodes in nepotism wars. I'd be the villainous, the ambitious bitch who knifed her own kin.
Good.
Let them talk. I'd wear the crown of thorns. The next week blurred into a frenzy of calculated chaos. Mornings at the gym, pounding the treadmill to purge the phantom pain of that crash, then dives into Hawthorne's archives, cross-referencing Victor's old emails for crumbs of his scheme. Afternoons, schmoozing. Sarah bit first, her eyes widening over lattes at Le Pain Quotidien. Rose. If this is real. Jesus. Vic's been cooking the books since the IPO. Real as the rent, I said, sliding her a USB drive. Run it through your models. Quietly. Javier was trickier, loyal to a fault, but a late-night whiskey at his Brooklyn brownstone cracked him. Liam's got no clue about APIs. Rose. It's insulting. By dawn.
He was in.
Liam.
Though.
Drinks turned into weekly rituals. The Dead Rabbit's dimly lit corners became our confessional. He was 25. All tousled hair and trust fund charm. Nursing IPAs while spilling about Victor's pressure. He wants me to shadow you.
But.
I don't know. Rose. Feels off. Off how? I probed, swirling my old-fashioned, the cherry stem twisting like a noose. He hesitated, cheeks flushing. Like he's scared of you. Says you're too aggressive. But that's bullshit. You're the brains. Flattery. Or truth. I filed it away, smiling. Family's complicated. Liam. But we'll figure it. Underneath the banter. Tension coiled. Victor stonewalled me at work, reassigned my projects to team leads, a polite exile. Whispers spread. Rose Hawthorns on a power trip. I ignored them, building my dossier. The embezzlement wasn't just sloppiness, it was systematic. Millions funneled to Victor's vanity project, a Florida resort that tanked in the '08 crash. Ghosts he'd never buried. And me? I'd covered the initial traces. Forging logs during a system upgrade, I'd led. Guilt gnawed. But so did rage.
He'd used me.
By month 2, the board meeting loomed like Judgment Day. September 15th, 2020, the same date Victor had crowned Liam in my first life. This time, I'd flipped the script. I prepped like a trial lawyer, slides crisp, narrative airtight. Hawthorne thrives on trust, I'd open. But trust erodes when leaders bleed it dry. Data points, timelines, projections of fallout if unchecked. Sarah and Javier promised votes, 2 more execs. Swayed by previews. Tipped the scale. Victor knew something brewed. His emails turned curt. His office door perpetually closed. Once, in the hall, he cornered me. Whatever you're planning,
Drop it.
for your sake. My sake, I laughed softly. Yours, maybe. Sleep tight. Uncle. The night before, insomnia hit hard. I paced my apartment, the Hudson's black waters mocking me from the window. What if I was wrong? What if Clause 8 backfired? Painting me as the betrayer? The press would crucify me. Eris sabotages empire for revenge. And Liam, would he hate me forever? A tear escaped. Hot and unwelcome. I'd loved him once. Like a brother. Now, he was a pawn. But pawns could clean up. Or fall. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving. I suited up, emerald green this time. A nod to Dad's favorite tie, and headed in. The boardroom thrummed. 20 suits. Coffee steam rising like fog of war. Victor at the head. Liam to his right, fidgeting with his pen. Ladies and gents, Victor started, voice booming. Today's about the future. And that future's bright with Liam Hawthorne stepping up as COO. Murmurs of approval. Liam smiled weakly. My cue. Actually, I interjected. Standing. Remote in hand. The future's contingent on a few housekeeping items first. Screens flickered to life. My deck. Hijacked via Javier's backdoor. Gasps rippled as the first slide hit. Material malfeasance. A Clause 8 invocation. Victor's face went ashen. Rose. What the hell? Save it. I cut in. Voice steady as the Brooklyn Bridge. For months.
Eve uncovered discrepancies.
Funds diverted. Audits falsified. Charts bloomed. Red lines plunging. Arrows pointing to Victor's signatures. The room erupted questions. Outrage. Sarah nodded grimly. Javier crossed his arms. Liam stared. Mouth agape. Eyes darting between us. Victor lunged for the projector cord. But security, my call, tipped off, hovered at the door. This is libel, he roared. Slander. She's framing me. Framing. I echoed. Clicking to the kill shot. My forged logs. Time-stamped to his emails. Or cleaning up what I helped hide once. Yeah. I said that. I covered for you.
Beak.
The Florida flop. The wires to BVI. Thought it was family. But you picked Liam over me. Over everything I built. The board froze. Whispers turned to shouts. Embezzlement.
Sick.
Vote now. Liam stood. Voice cracking. Rose. Is this true? Uncle Beak? Victor's eyes bulged, sweat beading.
Boy. Sit down.
She's lying. But Liam's face crumpled, pieces falling. I saw the statements. Last year. You said it was nothing. Betrayal layered on betrayal. The room spun toward chaos. But I held the floor. Clause 8 demands a vote. Prove the malfeasance. Oust the CEO. Or let it fester. Hand shot up, Sarah.
Javier.
The swing votes. 8-7. Victor was out. He slumped, defeated, as the board adjourned in stunned silence. You bitch, he muttered. Venom low. You'll regret this. Already did, I whispered back. When I trusted you. Outside.
Paparazzi su armat, leac si de planta.
Controversy brewing. Hawthorne Aristotle's uncle in power grab screamed the headlines by noon. Twitter, X, whatever, exploded. Rose revenge trending. Memes of me as corporate Cersei. Feminists cheered. Trad bros decried. Woke nepotism wars. Tense. Divisive. Pure American drama. But victory tasted like ash. Liam cornered me in the garage. Eyes red. Why didn't you tell me? I could've. Could've what? Watched him pick you anyway? I snapped. Keys jangling. You're welcome for the crown. Cuz. He grabbed my arm, gentle, pleading. It wasn't like that. He forced me. Said you'd destroy us all if I didn't play along. A twist. Sharp as glass. Forced or complicit. I yanked free. Engine roaring to life.
Save de sob story. Throne's yours now.
Don't fuck it up. As I peeled out. Rain slicking the streets. Echoes of that fatal night. The weight settled. I'd won. Invoked the claws. Watched his empire crumble. But the family?
Shattered.
And me? Queen of ruins. Alone with my ghosts. The fallout hit like a Category 5 through Wall Street. By evening, Hawthorne's stock dipped 12%, investors spooked by the stench of scandal. CNBC looped the boardroom clip I'd accidentally leaked. Victor's ashen defeat. My unflinching stare. Pundits dissected it like an autopsy. Is Rose Hawthorne a whistleblower or a witch hunt? Fox called me a ruthless climber. MSNBC hailed the glass ceiling smasher. I muted the TV. Nursing a scotch in my suddenly too quiet apartment. The city's siren wail, my only company. Sleep evaded me. Replaying the looks. Sarah's nod of respect. Javier's grim solidarity. Liam's shattered confusion. And Victor, God. That hatred in his eyes. Pure and unfiltered. I'd seen it before. In the split second before impact. His voice on speaker. End of the line. Rosie.
Now.
Free in the flesh. It haunted me. Was this justice? Or just vengeance dressed up in legalese? Morning brought the lawyers. Hawthorne's counsel. A slick Yale alum named Preston. Cornered me in the lobby with NDAs and gag orders. MS. Hawthorne. The board's in damage control. Victor's filing countersuit, defamation. The works. We need you to sign off on a joint statement. Internal matter resolved amicably. Amicably. I almost laughed. Tell the board I'll testify. All of it, the covers, the crashes.
Crash.
The word slipped, laced with double meaning. Preston's brow furrowed, but I waved him off. And get me Victor's office keys. Interim CEO, duties start now. Up on 47. The space felt alien, his cologne lingering like a bad omen. Family photos mocking from the desk. Me at 16. Gap-toothed grin beside him at my prom. Liam and me at Dad's funeral. Arms linked in shared grief. I swept them into a drawer, then rifled the safe. Jackpot. A burner phone. Logs syncing to his Cayman app. More dirt. Text to shady fixers. One time-stamped weeks before my accident. Handle the girl. Quiet. My stomach roiled. Proof. Irrefutable. But sharing it? That'd drag the whole mess. Criminal FBI. Headlines screaming, murder plot in tech empire. Controversial didn't cover it. It'd nuke Hawthorne's rep. Tank jobs. Invite class actions from laid-off coders. The ethical tightrope. Expose the monster. Or let him slink away bruised. I forwarded the logs to my personal attorney, a pitbull named Elena who'd clawed her way from Bronx projects to big law. Audit this. Discreetly. Her reply pinged instant. Holy shit. Rose. This is felony territory. You invoking? Not yet. First, stabilize the ship. I called an all-hands Zoom. 200 faces pixelated in worry. Hawthorne's stronger than one man's mistakes, I said, channeling Dad's gravelly pep talks. We're pivoting to transparency, full audits, open books. And yeah, it's messy. But mess makes diamonds. Claps echoed virtual. Morale ticked up. Sarah texted thumbs up. Javier forwarded bug reports from the team. Even Liam chimed in later. Halting. Meeting went well. Proud of you. Rose. Sorry about everything.
Proud.
The words stung. I typed back. Water under the bridge. Help me fix this? Alliance.
Tentative.
Or trap. Victor's countersuit dropped that afternoon. $50 million for irreparable harm to reputation. His PR spin. Bitter niece fabricates claims to seize control. TMZ ran with it. Digging my past, Mom's Odie. My aggressive climb. Whispers of a breakdown after Dad's heart attack. They'd twisted my grief into instability. Rage boiled. I wanted to leak the burner texts. Watch him fry. But Elena advised cool. Build the case. He's desperate. Desperate men slip. She was right. 2 days later. A tail black SUV. Tinted windows. Shadowing my cab from a client lunch in Soho. Paranoia from the grave? I ditched it in traffic. Heart pounding. Then hired private security. Ex-NYPD. Burly and bored. Standard precaution, I told them. Inside. I seethed. Victor wasn't done. The real storm brewed at home. Aunt Clara, Victor's wife. Liam's mom called, voice quivering southern drawl. Rose Marie Hawthorne. What have you done? Vic's in pieces. The man's your blood. Blood that tried to spill mine, I snapped. But softer for her. Clara was the soft one. The bake sale mom who'd knit me scarves through boarding school winters. Auntie. He embezzled. Picked Liam to cover it. Lies, she wailed. My boy's innocent. You're tearing us apart, innocent. The word echoed. I hung up.
Guilt gnawing.
Family Thanksgiving obliterated. Holidays in ruins. But turning back.
No.
I died for this. Week 3. The SEC probe launched, tipped by my anonymous packet. Victor's assets froze, his Florida hideaway raided. He lawyered up, vanishing to a Tribeca penthouse, courtesy of friends. Liam stepped up as acting COO, fumbling but earnest, greenlighting my FedEx pitch. We worked late,
Side by side.
The old rhythm returning, me coding tweaks, him charming stakeholders. One night, over pizza in the war room, he cracked. Rose. I knew about the money. Not all, but enough. Thought it was loans. When he pushed me for COO, I went along. Scared of losing it all. Scared, I echoed. Cheese stringing like accusations. You let him marginalize me.
He winced. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. But that crash, you think he? The question hung. The elephant in the Tesla. I nodded.
Slow.
Brakes tampered. I have proof. Liam's face crumpled, tears. Real ones.
God.
Rose. I overheard him on a call. Weeks before. Loose ends. I thought it was business. Ignored it. I'm so sorry. Twist upon twist. Complicity. Yes, but remorse? Genuine? I wanted to hate him, but his eyes mirrored my own haunted ones. Then help me end it, I said finally. Testify if it comes to trial. He nodded.
Fierce.
Anything. Alliance forged in pizza grease. But trust? Fragile as glass. The controversy peaked mid-October, a whistleblower op-ed in the Times. Penned by Deep Throat Dev, Javier's alias. Hawthorne's route runs deep. Nepotism. Theft. And whispers of worse. Shares tanked further. Protests outside HQ. Coders in hoodies chanting, merit over money. Counter-protests from Victor's old guard. Family values under attack. I faced the press gauntlet. Elena at my flank. This isn't personal. I lied smoothly. It's accountability. American as apple pie and antitrust suits. They ate it up, cameras flashing. Mics thrusting. Inside, I trembled. One slip, and I'd be the villain. Victor's countermove landed like a gut punch. Leaked emails. Proving my forgeries. Rose doctored the logs, his suit claimed. Jealousy-fueled sabotage. Doubt crept into the board. Sarah called. Hesitant. It's bad. Rose. We need corroboration. Corroboration. The burner phone. I handed it over. Elena filing for emergency injunction. But the damage? Stocks at 200-day lows. Layoffs looming. My decisions, invoking Clause 8. Going public, hailed as bold by some. Reckless by others. Tense debates on podcasts. Is corporate revenge feminist fire or destructive drama? Nights blurred into strategy sessions. Liam crashed on my couch. Bonding over bad movies and buried secrets. He spilled more. Victor's rages. The pressure to man up for the legacy. He hated how you outshone us. Said women like you ruin families. Ruin. The irony burned. But Liam's loyalty held. He dug up old voicemails. Victor ranting about dealing with Rosie permanently. By November, the trial date loomed. Federal court. Manhattan. Embezzlement and conspiracy charges pending. Victor surfaced, gaunt and snarling in depositions. She's a liar, he spat on record. Always was. Her mother's weakness runs deep. The jab landed Mom's ghost. The pills I'd found at 12. Victor's support that kept me grinding. I broke down in Elena's office.
Sobbing.
He used her death to chain me. Elena hugged me.
Fierce.
Then use his to free you. The eve of trial. Snow dusted the city like absolution. I stood on my balcony. Wind whipping. Phone buzzing with Liam's text. Ready? We got this.
We.
For the first time, It felt real. But as sirens wailed below, doubt whispered, was this happy ending? Or just another grave? Courtroom 12B smelled like polished wood and desperation, leather briefcases, stale coffee, the faint tang of fierce sweat from defendants past. November 18th, 2020, Hawthorne vs. Hawthorne, U.S. District Court, Southern District of New York. Judge Harlan, a no-nonsense widow with a rep for skewering white-collar crooks, banged the gavel. Order. Let's dispense with the theatrics. Theatrics. If only. The gallery packed, reporters scribbling, ex-board members glaring, Clara dabbing tears beside Victor's empty chair. He'd plea out? No. There he was, shuffling in cuffs, orange jumpsuit clashing with his silver mane. Our eyes met, his burned with loathing, mine with cold fire. Bitch, he mouthed. I smiled thinly. Let him stew. Prosecution opened strong. Elena, in Navy power suit, painting Victor as the spider at the web center. Embezzlement isn't victimless. Your Honor. It gutted Hawthorne, cost jobs, eroded trust, exhibits flew, wires, ledgers, my logs authenticated by forensic accountants. Gasps when the burner texts hit, loose ends. Quiet. The defense, Victor's shark, a Boston Brahmin named Hargrove, countered with venom, MS. Hawthorne's senior fabricated evidence. Her grudge? Personal. Familial betrayal over succession. He paraded my instability, psych evals from dad's death. Mom's obituary twisted into inherited volatility. Whispers rippled. Clara sobbed audibly. I took the stand mid-morning, heart thundering like the L train outside. Oath sworn. Elena led gentle. MS. Hawthorne, walk us through Clause 8. Legacy safeguard, I said. Voice steady. Proves malfeasance voids claims. Victor's theft qualified. Hargrove cross-examined like a bully. You forged those logs. Didn't you? To seize control. Admit it. Ambition over family. The gallery leaned in. Flashbulbs popped. I met his gaze. Unflinching. I covered initially. Loyalty. But after he chose Liam, despite my builds, my deals, I uncovered more. And yes, I invoked. Because family protects, not destroys. Destroyed him. You mean? Hargrove sneered. Rigged brakes? That's your fantasy. No proof. Elena objected, sustained. But the seed planted. Doubt. Reporters tweeted furiously. Rose revenge or Victor victim. Polls swung. My which label stuck. Lunch recess. Liam in the hall. Ty askew. You're killing it. He looks broken. Broken's good, I muttered. But Clara approached, eyes puffy. Rose. Please. Drop this. For Liam. For Liam. The plea twisted. He started it. Auntie. The crash. Crash. Her face blanched. Vic said accident. You think. I nodded. Throat tight. Texts prove intent. She collapsed against the wall. Keening. Liam rushed to her, glaring at me. Enough. Rose. You're destroying us. Destroying. The word echoed Hargrove's. Was I? The controversy raged outside. Protests swelled. Justice for Victor, signs clashing with accountability now, chance. My security hustled us past. Into a black SUV. Snow flurrying like confetti from hell. Afternoon dragged. Victor's turn. He took the stand defiant, spinning yarns of misplaced funds, blaming rogue accountants. But cracks showed sweat. Stammers when Elena grilled the texts. Context, he barked. Business talk. Business like handle the girl? Elena pressed. Objection. Overruled. The jury leaned forward, faces hardening. Then, the twist, Liam called as witness. Prosecution's ace. He shuffled up, avoiding my eyes.
Clavik.
Pressured me. Knew about the money. The SOO push? Cover. Gallery murmured. Hargrove pounced. You conspired too, Mr. Hawthorne? Complicit. Liam flushed.
No.
I resisted. Overheard the call. Loose ends. Warned Rose anonymously. Weeks before. Anonymously? My head snapped up. The concerned employee email I dismissed pre-crash him? But you did nothing, Hargrove hammered. Cowardice. Not conspiracy. Liam's voice broke. I was scared.
Family.
It's everything. Everything. The word hung, fracturing the room. Clara wept openly. Victor glared daggers. Elena rapped strong. Fear doesn't excuse enabling murder. Murder. The charge dropped like a bomb. Conspiracy to commit, based on the texts. Victor's face crumpled. The mask slipping. Lies. All lies. Recess called. Backstage. Liam cornered me. That email I tried. Rose.
God. I'm sorry. Tried.
The revelation hit like brakes failing. Forgiveness flickered.
Tentative.
Why not tell me? Thought you hate me. He shrugged.
Broken.
Turns out. You did anyway. Not hate, I whispered. Hurt. Hug brief. Awkward. But real. Outside. Snow thickened. The city buried under white, mirroring my resolve. Trial stretched days, experts droning, exhibits piling. Media frenzy peaked, 60-minute special. Dynasty of deceit. I dodged interviews, but leaks fed the fire. My mom's history twisted further, painting me unstable. Sleepless, I paced Elena's office. Am I the villain here? She snorted. Villain? You're the survivor. Controversial? Hell yes. But right.
Right.
The mantra carried me. Week 2. Closing arguments. Elena eviscerated. Victor Hawthorne chose greed over blood, power over protection. Clause 8 wasn't revenge, it was reckoning. Hargrove's plea, a family's tragedy, not crime. Pity the betrayer, not the betrayed. Jury deliberated 3 days, eternity in purgatory. I holed up with Liam. Takeout and tension. We talked real, his coke slips. My isolation climbs. You are always the strong one, he admitted. I envied that. Strength's lonely, I replied. But it's mine. Verdict dropped December 1st. Guilty on all. Embezzlement. Conspiracy. Victor sentenced weeks later. 15 years. White-collar wing at Otisville.
No parole.
The courtroom exhaled. Clara fainted. I stood numb. Victory hollow.
Outside.
Flashbulbs blinded. MS. Hawthorne. Regrets? A reporter shouted. Only that it came to this, I said. Voice carrying. Family should have been enough. But it wasn't. As snow melted to slush, Hawthorne rebounded, me at helm, Liam as partner. Stocks climbed, deals flowed. Yet the scars? Eternal. Winter thawed into a brittle spring, New York shaking off its freeze like a bad hangover. Hawthorne dynamics bloomed under dual CEOs, me and Liam. The reborn duo perforbs. We gutted the old guard. Audits scrubbed clean. Ethics charter inked with my signature flair. The FedEx deal closed triple value. Quantum module launched to rave reviews. Board meetings? Electric. No more Victor's shadow. But success tasted bittersweet, laced with the ash of what I'd torched. Clara moved to Charleston. Radio silence broken by stiff Christmas cards. Healing takes time. Liam crashed often. Our bond mended, but fragile, laced with what-ifs. Nights. We'd debrief over bourbon at my place. Skyline glittering like false promises. You ever think about the crash? He asked one April evening. Ice clinking. Cherry blossoms dusted the park below, mocking our barren roots. Every drive, I admitted, swirling my glass. Feels the car remember. He nodded. Haunted. I dream of the call. I should have stopped him. Should have's our currency here. I clinked his glass. Spend it wisely. Wisely. My new creed. Publicly, I was the icon. TED Talk on Betrayal as Catalyst. Book deal whispers. Privately, therapy. Twice weekly unpacking mom's ghost. Victor's grooming. My own complicity. You saved yourself, Dr. Lena said. That's the win. Win. The word echoed hollow. Controversy lingered. Op-eds decrying my ruthless ascent. Women's mags crowning Rose Revolution. I leaned in. Funding scholarships for underdog coders. Girls like pre-crash me. Grinding in garages. Summer scorched in. Liam dated a barista named Mia. All tattoos and optimism. She's real. He gushed over lunch at Sarah Beth's. No Hawthorne drama. Envy pricked my roster. Ghosts. Dates fizzled. Trust a casualty. One humid night. A venture capitalist, tall. Ivy charm. Tried lines over oysters at Grand Central. Heard you're the queen of comebacks. Queen of caveats. I quipped. But inside. Walls up. Betrayal's gift. Then, the real twist. July email from Otisville. Victor's scrawl digitized. Rosie, visitation approved. Come alone. Truths to share. Truths. My gut twisted. Elena advised against. He's cornered. Manipulation 101. But curiosity, that old Hawthorne curse, won. I went. Security in tow. Upstate heat shimmering off the fences. Processing padons. Buzzers. The clang of finality. Victor at a steel table. Gaunt. Eyes duller sans cufflinks. Seat. I did. Arms crossed. Make it quick. Parole hearings years off. He leaned in. Voice a rasp. You think you won? That clause? I wrote it for you. To protect against interlopers like Liam's dad. My wastrel brother. Lies? Or half-truth? Bull. You picked him to bury me. A chuckle. Bitter. Picked him because you were too good. Too like your father, unyielding. I feared you'd expose the Florida mess. Tank us. The money? Desperation. Not greed. Desperation that killed me. The words slipped. Raw. His eyes widened, feigned. Killed. Rosie. The crash. Save it. I slid photos across. Tampered brake lines. Mechanics report. Your fixer sang. 20 years at it. He deflated, shoulders slumping.
I panicked.
You invoked. Everything crumbled. But Liam, he knew more. Push me to handle you. Jealous little shit. The bomb detonated. Liam?
No.
Lies to divide. Check his phone, Victor hissed. Came an app. He skimmed too. Your deals funded his habits. I stood, chair scraping. Rot in hell. Vic, but doubt-seated. Back in the city, I confronted Liam. His apartment reeked of takeout and regret. Vic says you knew. Push the crash. His face blanched.
What?
That bastard. Prove it. I held out my phone.
Kaiman login prompted.
He typed. Trembling, access denied. I deleted after. Cleaned up. Cleaned. Rage surged. Like you cleaned me out of the talks. Rose. No, but I was gone. Door slamming. Tires screeching into dusk. Hours later. Elena's audit confirmed. Micro-skimming. Liam's fingerprints on side accounts. Not Victor scale, but damning. Twist's cruel edge. The nephew. The ally. Complicit in shades. I invoked again, not clause 8, but severance. Liam out. Golden parachute clipped. Press aided. Rose purges cousin in final reckoning. He fought lawyers. Leaks but folded. Fleeing to Mia in Portland. Last text. Sorry I failed you. Again.
Failed.
The echo chamber. Alone in the penthouse, promoted to full CEO, I stared at Dad's old watch. Ticking indifferent. Victory?
Pyrrhic.
Family? Ashes. But Hawthorne soared. IPO rebound. Acquisition stacking. Fall leaves turned. I stood at Mom's grave in Woodlawn. Wind whispering absolution. I avenged us, I murmured. But at what cost? No answer. Just rustling oaks. Back home. A new ritual. Journaling the hooks, the death gasp, the rebirth laugh, the boardroom roar. For the book. Maybe. Or just me. One crisp October dawn. Coffee steaming. I scrolled X, memes of my revenge arc still trended.
Debates raging.
A DM pinged. Anonymous. Deep throat dev Javier. Proud of you.
Boss.
What's next? Next. The question unlocked something. I typed. Expansion. Global. And a vacation Bali. No suits.
Send.
Laughter bubbled real. Unscarred. I'd invoked the clause. Watched plans fall.
But mine?
Rising. Controversial queen. Tense survivor. American as reinvention. In the mirror, Rose Hawthorne stared back, not broken, but forged. Ready for the sequel.